Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of A Spiritual Remedy. My name is Sunshine Day, and what a joy it is to greet you on this day. Wow, here we are in the month of May 2022, and life is in session, and we are like living life fully. I'm a spiritual living coach, and it is my great joy to provide spiritual tools and loving support for your personal transformation. I just want to say good morning to everybody. Good morning, good morning, good day. I'm so glad that we get an opportunity to interact on this show. So today's topic is think and feel, right? Thinking and feelings and knowing the difference. And the reason I really wanted to talk about this today. Good morning, Tammy. So good to have you on the show this morning. So glad you're with me. Yeah, so this idea of think and feel, our thoughts, our feelings, and actually knowing the difference. A lot of times people associate them as closely related because they are mental capacities. They both happen like in the mind. Berta, mwah, buenos días, gusto en verte hoy. So a lot of times, this idea of our thoughts and our feelings are so closely related because it's a mental thing. It happens in the mind. But I want us as people who are recovering, and when I say recovering, again, the reason for my show, A Spiritual Remedy, is because sometimes we're stuck in beliefs and behaviors that no longer serve us. We're distracted. We have weapons of mass distraction that keep us from living our best life. And those distractions, those weapons of mass distraction, they appear as food, as drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, porn, stress, drama, our cell phones, weapons, all weapons of mass distraction. And when we allow ourselves to be distracted by these things, we are not necessarily living our best life. When we get consumed, when what we think about is drinking and drugging, or our next pill fix, our next meal, whatever it is, or when we're so caught up in the stress and the drama of life, we're not fully being present. And then when we do pause, like we do on days like today, when we do pause and inhale and exhale, and we become conscious of this moment, and we're able to relax into this moment, it's important to recognize the difference between what I think and what I feel. And the important differences are that thoughts are ideas that are produced when we think. Ideas, opinions, perceptions, those are thoughts. That's happens on the mental level of thinking. Feelings, or sometimes we talk about them as emotions, right? Is energy in motion. Energy in motion. And sometimes our emotions are triggered, or the result or the reaction of our thoughts. Now, a lot of times what happens is we don't really understand those deep, deep hidden thoughts that are happening in our lives, to where we're having this response or reaction, where we're having these emotions. And why it's important to have the clear distinction between both is because if and when we are to recover, knowing the difference is large. Okay, so here's the why and how. So here's what I hear. What I hear is a lot of people, when they talk, they'd be like, I feel like when you talk to me that way, you know, you're demeaning, or I feel like there's something going on that I don't really know about. Now, notice how people use that word feel. Wow. Good morning, Kiana. So good to have you with us. And Mahogany and Nancy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, so when we use that word feel, like I feel like this is going on behind my back, or, you know, or something similar to that. It is not a feeling, it is a thought. You might have a sense. So that is the feeling or the emotion. It might be a sense or a feeling of being scared or concerned, or a feeling of love, or a feeling of fear. Those are feelings. And those feelings are emotions. They are energy in motion. Now, the thought might be, I think that they're talking about me behind my back, or I think that, you know, such and such is going on and going down. And those are thoughts. And when we think those thoughts, they generate a particular feeling or emotion. Now, when doing public speaking, when talking with a friend, when talking with you know, people that we're just meeting, knowing that difference really speaks to, if you will, speaks to our IQ and our EQ, our emotional intelligence and our intelligence. And not to put any blame or shame on anyone's emotional intelligence, but to the degree in which we are actually in touch with our emotions, it is to that degree where we get an opportunity to really live our amazing lives, because our emotions, those feelings, that energy and motion actually point back to what we are thinking. And if what we are thinking is out of whack, then what we get an opportunity to do is engage in a practice that helps us to get back on track. So, you know, I might have ideas about the world, or the people around me. I might, you know, think that, you know, my neighbors suck or whatever. And so when I see them and they whisper, you know, I feel some type of way, right? I might feel angry. I might feel sad, because the thought is, they're talking about me, or they're plotting and scheming to do X, Y, and Z. And see, that feeling of sadness is an emotional indicator of the thought behind that emotion. I know that Esther Hicks talks about that, you know, Abraham Hicks, when a long time ago in the movie The Secret, in the original version, that our emotions are actually indicators, and they provide us with information. So let's say you're dealing with lack or limitation, or let's say confidence around your recovery, confidence around, you know, what you're wanting to do in life. You know, when you're feeling sad and mad about something or disgust, that's an indicator that there's a thought that is active in your life around this idea of separation, that something is separating me from my good. If you know what I'm talking about, go ahead and put something in the chat. Or if you have an instance of where you have felt some type of way, go ahead and put it in the chat so that I can see it and I can begin to actually address it in the next couple minutes. So here's kind of what I'm talking about as well. And the importance of why we kind of want to have those separate is because one informs the other and the other informs the one. So when my thoughts and beliefs, when my way of thinking is that life is for me, that life is good, that everything is always coming together for my highest good, then my emotions, the energy in motion, are usually those emotions that are around. Thank you, Bertha. I'm going to come to that right now. It's usually those energies that are around happiness. So this idea, thank you, that food is my comfort, right? So when I have this idea that food is my comfort compared to food is my fuel, right? Food is my fuel. Food is my comfort. When I have this idea and thought, this hit, and that it goes way down deep. It goes deep into like our unconscious, our subconscious. And I have this belief that food is my comfort. So whenever I am feeling sad or mad or disgust, or even glad, I'm going to reach for food. I'm going to reach for food. You know, alcohol is my comfort. For me, if, I'm feeling mad, sad, glad, you know what? It's a great time to celebrate. Boom. That's the behavior. So the thought is that something outside of me is my comfort. And so when I am feeling uncomfortable or in discomfort, or even when I'm feeling comfortable, because comfort and comfort work together, then I actually reach for that thing that I'm telling myself that it is, that comforts me. And so my emotions, yeah, I feel good. But then all of a sudden, when I'm overeating or over drinking, right? When I'm overstimulated, or when I'm eating the foods that really don't bring me comfort, then I'm mad and I'm sad and I'm, I'm pissed off about stuff, because now I'm eating for comfort instead of eating for fuel. Right. And when I eat for fuel, I can enjoy it. That's why we have taste buds, right? And our taste buds are for our joy. Our taste buds are, to let us know whether things are good for us or not good for us, right? So thank you, Melissa Morgan. I love you so much, right? This is the food. Food is it for me. President and I love what you're saying about food is fuel. Thank you. Absolutely. So here's the deal, that what I think and what I feel, it brings up this emotion of either, more and more love. Yeah. And then we eat it and eat and eat and eat and eat. And then all of a sudden we don't feel good about ourselves. We start bashing ourselves, but it's because the original thought that food is comfort is an erroneous thought. Food is fuel. If we begin to actually implant to ourselves, right? New mantra, food is my fuel. I love it. Yes. Food is my fuel. When we begin to then change that, right? All of a sudden it's just like, oh, wait a minute. Yes, this is how I feed my body. Also, Tammy says, my forgiveness mantra is a clearing to self-shame. Yes. And that's what this leads to, beloveds. This is what all of this, knowing the difference between our thoughts and our feelings, actually leads to forgiveness. I should have had a V8. I forgive myself for thinking that food is comfort. And somewhere along the line, I want to forgive everybody else who told me that, or who suggested that, or when I was crying, put the bottle in my mouth all the time and just like, rah, rah, rah. I wasn't hungry. I wanted attention. I wanted to be seen or heard, or, and boom, automatically it's the bottle in the mouth. Yeah, it could be a sign that I'm hungry, but it might not be all the time. And so that that knowing the difference and then coming to the root cause of our discomfort or our pleasure that then leads to discomfort is what then brings us to this place of forgiveness. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah. That is why knowing the difference for me is so keen and important, because it brings us to that place of giving it up. Now giving that up, giving this idea up and switching it out. Food is my fuel. It's what gives me energy. It's what enlivens me. It's what my body needs. And wow, I can pick fuel that tastes good and that brings me joy and that is savory or salty or sweet. I can pick and continue to pick the fuel that brings me alive and that helps me to, to swim and to be in the swimming pool and to do yoga and to go for a walk and to, be able to embrace people and to get up and down the stairs or get up and down from my chair and all of that. It helps me to run, all of that. Now that is indeed what we're looking at and why it's important to be able to differentiate thought, feeling, right? So here's our school of thought right here. Is there are 6 basic feelings. So it's mad, sad, glad, fear, surprise, and disgust. And so when we have that, again, it's mad, sad, glad, fear, surprise, disgust. When we can say, I feel, and anytime from here on out that we say, I feel like, warning, warning. Anytime we use the word like behind the word feel, it's already erroneous. Here's the deal. I feel mad, sad, glad, fear, surprise, or disgust, or any of the words that, that are springs off to that. Glad could be love. Glad, could be happy. I feel happy, or I feel sad. And to recognize, here we go now, we begin to recognize the feeling, because that feeling is an indicator. I feel sad that I don't have enough money. I'm thinking I don't have enough money. My thought process is I don't have enough. That's where I can change it now. It's like I live in an abundant world, an abundant universe. I am abundant, and we can begin to shift and change that. Like, I feel sad that I relapsed. The thought is that I'm wrong for relapse. It's part of our growth. This is our growth and unfoldment. We make mistakes. We have a mistake, and that mistake is a misthinking. So I get to examine the thoughts that lead to that feeling. That feeling tells me what the thought is that I'm having that I get to change, and I get to look at and go, oh yeah, I'm just a drunk. I'm no good. I just overeat all the time. I eat for comfort, right? And then we go, oh man, I've been stuck in beliefs and then behaviors that no longer serve me. So now by coming back to this thought and having my feelings indicate, and show me, point back to me what that thought is, then I get to take that into my meditation. I get to take my new affirmation, my new mantra, as some of you have said, right? My new mantra, my new way of thinking and being. I get to take that into my meditation, into my quiet time. I get to remind myself that I am whole, perfect, and complete, that I am abundant, that I'm an excellent steward of my funds, and that money comes to me easily and effortlessly from the avalanches of abundance. My riches come. I eat for fuel. I make great choices for myself. These are the new messages that we begin to implant, right? Bertha says, when are we starting the circles? What day did we want to start? We have a beautiful location here that we can start some evening or some daytime circles. I want to really get a feel for this kind of circle. We can do a spiritual remedy circle, and it can be all inclusive to all of our daily challenges. I'm ready. I'm ready to start because we can get together here in the city of Long Beach and also just continue to meet here or even do a virtual circle for those of you who may be out of town. Wow, I see my time is up already. Thank you, Bertha, for bringing that to light. Let's take a look at our calendar. Please send me text messages. Please email me, DM me. Send me messages if you're in the local Long Beach area and want to participate in a circle. Let me know what evening or what afternoon, daytime hours or whatever is good for you so that we can begin to put these circles together and actually support each other in real time in person, but also do it virtually through virtual like Zoom or something like that. I'm here for you. That's what I'm here for. All right. Well, our time is up. Welcome to May. Yes. Melissa says yes to the circles. All right, Melissa, I got you. Farrell, I love you too. I love you too. All right, beloveds, have a great, great Monday. Make this the best day ever because it's the only day we have. Until next time, know that you're loved. Bye for now. Celebrate.